Well, biofuel groups are calling for a rehearing of a recent court decision vacating year-round sales of E15. They recently filed a petition highlighting legal errors in the three-judge panel's decision. Well, CEO of Growth Energy, Emily Skor, joins us now for an update on the situation. And Emily, as always, thanks for your time this morning. First of all, give us a background on the matter and your discrepancies with that court ruling.
Certainly, thanks for having me. Yes, so the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals reversed a 2019 rule by EPA that lifted outdated restrictions on the sale of 15% ethanol blends year-round. So that's something that certainly would have a devastating impact for our ability to expand market access. And in the decision, it comes down to statutory interpretation of the language in the statute. We very much disagree with their interpretation, some of the logic, and some of the really good arguments that we brought forward that the court really disregarded. So we are one of the national trade groups that were an intervener. We filed a petition, and we want a rehearing before the full court.
So among that petition, what are you calling for other than the hearing? What do you want to see happen?
We're simply asking for a rehearing. So essentially, let's rehear the entire case because we think we want the court to rehear it, give it a proper look, and really contemplate all of the facts that we're bringing forward that support why EPA absolutely has the ability to make these changes. And here's what we're looking for. This is updating a statute that goes back to 1990 and simply saying, adding two words to it, more than 10% ethanol. So, we believe that we've got a really strong case, and, we think the judges just didn't give us a fair shot the first time around.
Emily, has there been any feedback yet?
No feedback so far, so we're waiting for the court decision.
And what are the next steps?
So, the next steps is either the court accepts the rehearing, and we have one, or they would deny it. And so if that's the case, then we would ask the court to hold the mandate until September 15th. What we're really trying to do is make sure that retailers can continue to sell E15 this summer, and then we are working at pursuing various remedies with Congress, with EPA, so that we can reinstate the year-round E15 in time for the next summer driving season.
Now, before we wrap things up, USDA has also announced it's investing $26 million in biofuel infrastructure to expand the availability of those higher blends. What are your thoughts there?
Well, this is great news. I mean, we know that retailers need the ability to have, many retailers need new infrastructure to be able to sell higher blends. So whether it's a private grant or a government grant, this is really going to help us expedite increasing market access and ultimately sales of higher blends of ethanol. And that's what we need for rural America because that's going to grind more corn.
All right. Well, Emily, as always, thank you very much for your insight this morning. We appreciate it. Growth Energy's CEO, Emily Skor, on the phone with us today out of Washington, D.C. Go online to growthenergy.org for additional information.